This week on the Weekly Spark, we do not have April Fool's jokes for you. We've got more information on the deal hopefully happening with Iran to get us out of there. We've got a possible rate trend flip that you might want to pay attention to as a homeowner or as a real estate agent. And are single ladies taking over the market? Watch and find out.
Welcome to the Weekly Spark, your fast 5-minute flash of insight into the world of mortgage and real estate. Every week, we're here to ignite your understanding of the market, from mortgage rates and housing trends to legislative updates and insider strategies. So let's strike the match and spark your week. This is the Weekly Spark.
What's up? Let's get it sparked up, Jason. How you doing?
Let's do it, man. Doing great.
All right. This week, we got a couple interesting topics, I think. We're going to follow up last week talking about the peace plan. Deal or no deal?
So if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's going on in Iran, I suggest you turn on the news. But here's the good news. So allegedly, our President Trump is saying that this war is going to end in the next 2 or 3 weeks. He allegedly has been talking to the new Iranian leader. Regardless if the Strait of Hormuz opens or not, he is willing to get this thing done. I think we are all hoping that these words are going to be true words, because this will essentially help the volatility that we're seeing in the market across the board. And today we're actually going to dive into the rates. But Ryan, what do you think about this? Do you think that he's actually truthful about this, or is this a lot of lip service?
I'm hoping it's truthful. I'm also on the side of seeing rates getting a little bit better after we were murdered for 2 weeks in a row. Excited about where that's going. So, it's a tough thing to figure out, right? We got one side saying one thing, the other side saying the other thing. He addresses the nation tonight, and hopefully he comes with some clarity. So I mentioned the rate part. Let's jump into that. Do we have a rate trend flip, or what's going on?
Yeah, so let's jump into the charts here, and I will add this to the screen if everyone can see that here. So if you've been watching our content, you know that we want bond markets to increase, and today we had a nice bump up 13 basis points. So let's take a look at this trend here. So Ryan, this is where the Iran conflict began, right at the end of February, and as you can see, it just broke through this trend line that was really supporting the bonds for quite some time. And it just broke through and then just tumbled down to this Fibonacci level. And I always love how these Fibonacci levels really tell a story here. It does respect these lines. And, we thought, hey, maybe we'll see a relief rally here. And boom, we saw a terrible fall into the bond market. But like most uncertain times, we do see a relief rally finally. And the last 4 days, we've seen an incredible increase in bonds, which is helping interest rates, which is great news. We do have a tough customer here trying to break through this ceiling here that was a line of resistance. So hopefully this will continue here, guys. And then lastly, on the 10-year, which is the inverse of the bond market, we've seen the same thing. So as rates climb, this 10-year just literally breaks through all these moving averages. We really thought it was going to push up to this $4.58 line, but thankfully it came back through these trend lines, and we do see some room here to the downside. We're going to hope this trend continues, Ryan, but the good news is rates have fallen under that 6.5% nationally, and we still find good affordable home loans for folks that are purchasing and refinancing.
Yeah, and definitely product specific. Obviously we're seeing some higher adjustments in some of the non-QM stuff where investors are protecting themselves and making sure that they're getting out ahead of any rate increases. So, hopefully once we see some stability here, we can start inching back towards the ever evasive 6% range and getting down into the fives. We do have some access to some of those lower rates as well, lock-in rates all across the board. So it's definitely day by day, and we'll see what continues to happen there. This one is going to be a fun one. So our title is All the Single Ladies. We've got some stats. I did throw them up here, so I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. So it actually turns out that single women now account for more homeowners than single men. So women are becoming, as described in the headline from NAR Research, a force in the housing market. So lots of different numbers here. but really the ones that are we're paying attention to, are where the pink lines are bigger than the green lines. So we're seeing the housing market be 51%. 51% of the single people are women. So that's a really interesting statistic that we haven't seen across markets before. Jason, what do you think is a reason behind that?
You go, ladies. Listen, I don't know why the stats are like that, but the bottom line is this: girls, keep rocking it. We're here to help you, and obviously, we love to see that trend line move. Single ladies do deserve home ownership as well.
Yeah, lots of different ways you could take that one for sure. Glad we are on the positive side of that and promoting home ownership for all. So we're here to take that on and run it into the future. That's all we got this week. Short, quick episode. Let us know if you need anything. We'll see you on the next one.
That's a wrap for this week's edition of the Weekly Spark, brought to you by Creative First Mortgage. If you've got questions or want us to cover something next week, please let us know, shoot us a message, and until then, keep your deals moving and keep your week lit. See you next time.